all, and welcome to another Author Reads with your host, me, DM Wright. I support Red Nose Day, and if you wish to as well, the links are in the description. You can find all of my works at dmwproductionsoz.com. Today we're going to be going through one of my first books that were published, so I'll be fairly down. So this one's called Beth Mac. It's a Shakespeare adaptation of Macbeth, obviously, but it is a horror comedy, and it's sending up the strong female lead, if you wish to call it that. So let's get into it. So this is chapter 1 where we'll start from today, but there is a prelude that comes before it, so it's not the very first lines. So this is Beth Mac actually narrating to start off with. Okay, monkey, I don't know why you started the story there, so let's take it right back to the beginning and we can tell everyone all about me, Elizabeth Mackenzie. Not some Grim Reaper guy killing some other guy no one really cares about, who's from some random uneducated backwards kangaroo didgeridoo-dah country that our university seems to be a lighthouse for. Ugh, beacon, whatever, my point stands. Look, I'll talk and you can fill in the gaps till we get the story kick off. Yes, the part where I die, but that's at the end. There's plenty before that. Let's begin at the proper beginning, unlike where this stupid monkey took you before. Once more, I'm Elizabeth Mackenzie, or Beth Mac for those who know me, which is everyone! Much like Alex Mac, only I'm not going around with supernatural powers or anything. Just my own personal innate ability to be one of a kind. When I finished high school, I went for a year at college. Some would say studied, but there was never really any studying going on when there was so much shopping to do with more free time than the 8 till 3 of high school. It was there I thought, you know what? Before I get too far into adulthood, I would do my patriotic duty and enlist in the US Army. I was fit enough, rough enough, and was keen to take home a hot army boy in the process. Not to mention, I was looking forward to holding out a veteran's card for discounts and the endless standing ovations at professional matches. Baseball games are the home of boundless adulation and free hot dogs for those who've served. The easy fame from hardly doing anything but wearing camouflage pajamas for a year and sweating it out in some stupid desert east of Euro Disney, occasionally pulling a trigger at anything running past, like picking off ducks at a fairground shooting gallery, but with no free bear to take home. I would have to buy my own. Kapow pow, pew pew! Somewhere in the Middle East not too long ago. Bang, boom, wah, bang! Ah! Came the screams of those brave US soldiers deep in the middle of a bloody skirmish. Wah, boom, bang, bang, bang! Penetrating through the smoke and dust, a medic and his seconded soldier rushed out of the battle zone carrying a stretcher to the relative safety of behind Allied lines. Upon the canvas lay a severely injured captain who, though shredded with shrapnel and maimed from the face down, remained quiet, his body quivering from shock. Once sighted by his officer in command, the major ran over to give her support to the wounded man, and further gain intelligence from the horse's mouth. She needed to know what was happening deep inside the conflict through all the smoke and dust. My good captain, the major proudly held her subordinate's hand as they placed the stretcher to the ground beside other triage wounded, eagerly waiting medical attention. Tell me the situation. I need a no BS assessment of what's going on in there. A little unsure of himself, the captain replied, maybe a war crime or two? What? The major was taken aback. It's hard to say, but I can guarantee you there'll be a lot of paperwork after this and MPs up the wazoo. What are you talking about? Well, it did look like we were gonna be wiped out there. We were pinned down, couldn't see much at all, had no idea where everyone was, and would almost run out of ammo. Then, well, someone ran through all the firing, risking their lives, and somehow turned the whole thing around in our favour. And who was the soldier? Corporal Mackenzie? Who? The loud one. Oh, her. The major raised an eyebrow. So, what's the problem then? She may have gone too far. Earlier. Bang, 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 bang. Woo! Corporal Mackenzie excitedly mowed down the enemy with a machine gun at her shoulder. Take that, you stupid bastards! Bang, 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 bang. Woo! Ducking beside a shattered concrete wall, she unpinned a grenade and threw it over the top. Boom! Ah! Her victim screamed a Wilhelm scream. Shrieked a Wilhelm scream. Satisfied that she had personally taken out a corner of the battlefield, Beth darted back to the front lines of the US forces to regroup. After sliding into the forward position beside another soldier, she gloated of her recent kills. Those Irish will never get the best of us. America forever! The soldier screwed up their face in disgust and directed her attention with his rifle in the opposite direction from where she had just come. You know the Irish are on our side, right? Corporal, the enemy's over there. Beth turned around and saw several enemy soldiers firing at the US forces from inside a surrounded building. She then looked back at the victims of her previous tirade. United Nations medics were flooding the area to tend to the maimed and collect the deceased. Jesus Christ, Corporal, you've taken out the whole left side. If they flank us, we're done for. Well, I don't know, do I? Beth shrugged her shoulders. That was Frydenberg's job to tell me which way to point. Frydenberg's had his leg blown off like an hour ago. My point exactly. Jeez. For crying out loud, Corporal, point that way then. If you don't take out that building, we're done for. Ugh, fine. Beth forcibly held down the soldier and stole his last 2 magazines from his webbing. Hey, I need those to live. Keep your shirt on, Beth retorted, released him, and darted out into no man's land for the enemy building. I've no problems killing the enemy, Beth narrated. It's just pulling a trigger. Not much to that at all. It's someone else's job to be the moral compass. Saves me from thinking about the issue if someone else has been the philosopher. No point in us all being armchair enthusiasts or no one will get shot, right? You say enemy, you say kill, I say how many rounds per body. But even that's wasting too much time. Upon reaching the front of the building, Beth kicked in the door. It swung wide, even slamming someone into the wall. Thud! There was little time for any inside to react to the entrant. They had no chance to turn around from their firing positions at the windows to protect themselves. Beth immediately sprayed the open plan room with round after round. Bang, 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 bang. Taking a cue, the US forces outside cover the ground floor external walls with 1,000 rounds from several directions. The last fell to the floor, and the building fell eerily silent. Ugh. Hearing a groan coming from behind the door, Beth pulled it back and gazed down at a man collapsed, dazed and confused by the impact to his head. Intent on taking no prisoners, Beth aimed a machine gun and held down the trigger. Bang, 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 bang. She drew a bullet trail of destruction, splitting him from stem to sternum until the magazine was depleted. Bang, 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 click, click, click. Though the gunfight was over, the outside forces waited silently, judging it safer not to rush forward while Corporal Mackenzie was in her element. Much to her surprise, a head popped up in a window frame and all soldiers recocked intimidatingly. Several rounds unnecessarily ejected from their chambers and fell limply upon the dirt beside them in a choir of thumps. Noticing the head in the window didn't seem to be attached to a neck, the captain called out, "Hold!" The head then opened and closed its mouth like a ventriloquist doll. "I declare the war is at an end," called out a ridiculous high-pitched voice. Well, I didn't do that well. Beth stood up in the window frame with a hand deep inside the insurgent's decapitated head. "I'm a stupid asswipe who shouldn't have gone against the land of the brave," Beth threw her voice. "What a brave and mighty soldier," said the major, listening to the account. "That's one way of putting it," replied the captain, unsure that his superior had quite understood the inevitable repercussions. "So how did you end up in this stretcher then?" "Well, I'm glad you asked. Just as we thought all was well and we could regroup before the next battle. Hey, look what I found! Beth shouted out the window, then held up a grenade launcher. I'm Rambo! Look at me! Look at... Oops! Thunk. Having unintentionally pulled the trigger, a grenade shot out towards her fellow soldiers. Oh, crap. Bang. Ah! Sorry, Beth waved her hand to apologize. My bad. What? Don't look at me like that. I said sorry. Jeez, what more do you want? Do you think I could see a doctor now? The captain pointed to his injuries. I'd like to, be prevented from dying and all that. Carry on living, maybe see my family again. Oh yes, right, sorry. And the major waved him through to the waiting surgeons.